Welcome to our channel. Today, we will explore a fascinating and profound topic, salt in the Bible, its power as a spiritual weapon. Salt is not only an essential seasoning in our kitchens, but also holds powerful spiritual significance in the Scriptures. Since ancient times, salt has been valued not only for its ability to preserve food, but also for its symbolism in rituals and covenants. In the Bible, salt appears in various contexts, each with a deep and relevant meaning for our faith. Did you know that salt is mentioned more than 30 times in the Bible? Each mention offers us a valuable lesson about our relationship with God and with others. In this video, we will focus on the use of salt as a powerful weapon in spiritual warfare, revealing its biblical and spiritual meaning. We will explain how salt can break curses and attract blessings, highlighting the authority God has granted to natural elements, such as salt, in the Christian faith. We will also discuss the importance of using salt in a pure and consecrated manner, following biblical principles and obedience to God. Join us on this journey to discover how salt has been used as a symbol of purity, covenant, and preservation in the Bible. We will explore key passages and reflect on how these messages can be applied to our daily lives as Christians. Before we begin, we would love to hear your opinion. What does salt mean to you in your spiritual life? Leave us your comments below and share your thoughts with our community. We'd love to read them and learn together. Salt appears in the Bible in various contexts, each with a deep meaning. We will explore some of these contexts and what they teach us. Salt as a symbol of covenant. In Leviticus 2 verse 13, God instructs the Israelites to season all their offerings with salt. Season all your grain offerings with salt. Do not leave the salt of the covenant of your God out of your grain offerings. Add salt to all your offerings. Here, salt symbolizes the eternal covenant between God and His people. Salt, with its ability to preserve, represents the durability and faithfulness of the divine covenant. This use of salt reminds us that our promises and commitments to God should be enduring and faithful, just as salt preserves food. Salt as purification. In 2 Kings 2 verses 19 to 22, the prophet Elisha purifies the waters of Jericho with salt. Elisha says, "This is what the Lord says, I have healed this water. Never again will it cause death or make the land unproductive." Here, salt symbolizes purification and healing, demonstrating God's power to transform the impure into pure. This passage teaches us that just as salt purifies water, God can purify our lives and heal our spiritual wounds. Salt as a testimony of faith. Salt as a testimony of faith. In the New Testament, Jesus calls us to be the salt of the earth in Matthew 5 verse 13. You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt loses its flavor, how shall it be seasoned? It is then good for nothing but to be thrown out and trampled underfoot by men. Here, salt represents our mission as Christians to positively influence the world, preserving truth and justice. Being the salt of the earth means being an example of integrity and love in our communities. Salt as a spiritual weapon. In Mark 9 verses 49 to 50, Jesus says, "For everyone will be salted with fire, and every sacrifice will be salted with salt. Salt is good, but if the salt loses its flavor, how will you season it? Have salt in yourselves, and be at peace with one another." Here, salt not only symbolizes purity and covenant but also spiritual authority. In the Christian faith, salt is believed to break curses and attract blessings, acting as an element consecrated by God. When used in a pure and consecrated manner, following biblical principles and obedience to God, salt can be a powerful tool in spiritual warfare. God's authority over natural elements. Since creation, God has granted authority to natural elements. In Genesis 1 verses 29 to 30, God says, "Behold, I have given you every herb that yields seed which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed. To you it shall be for food. Also to every beast of the earth, to every bird of the air, and to everything that creeps on the earth, in which there is life, I have given every green herb for food." This passage reminds us that God has created and consecrated all natural elements, including salt, for our use and spiritual benefit. The importance of pure and consecrated salt. In Exodus 30 verse 35, God instructs Moses on how to make a sacred incense, "And you shall make from it an aromatic blend, a work of a perfumer, seasoned with salt, pure and holy." Purity and consecration are essential when using natural elements like salt in our spiritual lives. We must ensure that the salt we use is consecrated and applied according to biblical principles so that it can fulfill its divine purpose. Final reflections. Salt in the Bible is a powerful and multifaceted symbol that offers valuable lessons for our spiritual lives. It reminds us of the importance of faithfulness in our covenants, the need to seek purity and holiness, our mission to be a testimony of faith in the world, and the spiritual authority God has granted to natural elements. As we reflect on the meaning of salt in the Bible, we can find inspiration and guidance for our daily lives. The next time you use salt in your food, remember its deep spiritual significance and how you can be the salt of the earth in your everyday life. Let salt remind you of your responsibility to be an agent of change and preservation in the world, reflecting God's love and justice in all that you do. Thank you for joining us on this spiritual journey. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe to our channel, and share it with your friends. And please, leave us your comments about what salt means to you in your spiritual life. See you next time.